Hi, I'm Charlie Two Lamps, and yes, those are two matching lamps behind me. But I wasn't always this picture of class and sophistication. In fact, you may remember me from the dark old times when I was Charlie No Lamps. Or the dim but still pretty dark times when I was Charlie One Lamps. But look at me now. Two lamps, two matching lamps. And you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here? Growing tired of living in the dark, I decided I needed some lamps to brighten my apartment. I am partial to the tripod lamp design, but I'll be damned if I'm gonna hand over my hard-earned money to Big Lamp for something that I could take a long time to reinvent by myself at home. Now, I had several lengths of oak, 1.5 inches by 3/4 inches, lying around. They were for another project which I had given up on, probably the only time this has happened, and I was keen on recouping my losses and finding another use for these materials. I ended up having to shell out some of my hard-earned doll hairs to Big Lamp anyway, to buy lamp-making kits, which include a socket, wiring, and some mounting hardware. Now, after accidentally printing it a little too small and breaking it, I did have a design that simply slotted together, and you had a pretty snazzy looking lamp. Now, it did require drilling out some holes, and here's a pro tip. If you have neighbors who complain, if you work in the kitchen, how can anyone really tell if you're drilling or mixing a cake? While in the kitchen, I put on some Danish oil, which I think gives a nice balance between a fairly natural wood look, but giving it a little bit warmer of a color. After finishing with the finish, it was time to finish the rest of the lamp, and this included installing the hardware. I used little brass screws that added just a little pop of color, and the 3D brackets were then attached to the oak boards. The last thing is then to wire the lamps using those lamp-making kits, finishing that off with an underwriter's knot to make sure the wires don't pull through. Really?